Thank you very much.
Modernizing policies and practices for recruitment, retention, training, and development. Your Excellency, the 2010 Constitution provides for a public service that is responsive, prompt, effective, impartial, and one that provides equitable services to the citizens. The Constitution has placed the values and principles in Article 10 and 232 at the center of public service delivery. These values begin at the individual officer level as they step up to the institutional level. It is therefore the responsibility of both the individual officer and the respective institution to mainstream the values and principles in all processes in public service delivery as law provides. The 2021-2022 Values and Principles Report indicates that our public service has achieved the constitutional 2/3 gender representation of staff overall, with men at 62% and women at 38%. However, we are yet to achieve this at the policy and senior management levels. We also still have a way to go to achieve the African Union Agenda 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goal number 5 that aspires 50-50 of gender representation. Further, in regards to the representation of people with disabilities in public service, there has been improvement towards achieving the 5% threshold, but we are yet to be there. The ministry will continue to improve the representation beyond the reported 1.4%. Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program represents the very segment of the population that the Kenya Kwanza government seeks to empower through the bottom-up economic transformation model. For this reason, Your Excellency, and in my execution of mandate as the Ministry of Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action, we will continue to explore ways of enhancing the impact of such initiatives going forward. As a way of increasing youth presentation in public service relative to their population, the Ministry of Public Service will continue working with the Public Service Commission to review policies and practices for diverse and inclusion, human resource development, and succession management. Similarly, we are working closely with the Commission and other actors to enhance efficiency and effectiveness in the public service through Huduma Kenya program, as well as putting in place policies, including but not limited to the internship and volunteerism policy and guidelines, the dignity at workplace policy, and the competence framework for public service, among others. And our ultimate goal is to have a public service that your administration envisaged, and at the same time, one that conforms with the aspiration of Kenyans as expressed in the Constitution 2010. Indeed, your directives that 5,000 government services be made accessible to citizens online by mid this year is consistent with the service delivery efficiency and effectiveness goals. I wish to assure you that we are working towards achieving this goal, Your Excellency. To the cohorts, karibuni sana public service. Wahenga walisema kijana ni mzee anayekuwa, na unapokuwa hauhesabiwi kwa urefu ama kwa umri, wala hauhesabiwi kwa kutupa mawe na kuharibu mali za watu. Utahesabiwa na ni kipi ulichokigusa katika maisha ya mwingine. Your Excellency, with these few remarks and with your permission, allow me to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary to make his remarks. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Madam Aisha. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the AG, commissioners, distinguished guests, and most important, the almost 4,000 cohorts present here. Good morning. Your Excellency, I'll be very brief, and I'll not attempt to speak the kind of Kiswahili that Aisha Jumwa is good at. But I'll just say one or two things very briefly, because this is how government is formed. Yesterday, Your Excellency, I had the privilege of accompanying you when you led this country jointly with the Ambassador of the United States and the Deputy Secretary of State for Trade and Investment. And in that session, you made very significant pronouncements of your determination to make sure that this economy is growing and attractive to Kenyan investors and to international investors. Your Excellency, at that forum, you are able to close many deals, but let me just speak to two. You are able to have the closure of Moderna, and I saw Moses Kuria here. Moderna, a huge medical player globally and in the United States, putting a signature to come and invest 500 billion shillings here in Kenya to set up a medical facility. 500 billion US dollars. In Kenya shillings, at the current exchange rate, maybe it's about 80 billion Kenya shillings. Over and above that, you are also able to unlock some bureaucracies and